What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live on a Friday morning here at Site B on a sunny spring day, about 60-ish, but still weird winds. Thank you, solar flares. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. It's Friday. Time to take a break. Breathe in, breathe out, and take a look at all the nonsense that's going on in the tabletop role-playing game world that we might have missed this week because we were all too busy talking about Shadow Dark. And we'll get to that later. Meanwhile, Paizo! Hey, you remember those guys? Paizo, they've got some news. They've got a lot of news. Let's see what the news is. So some of that news is regards to what their plans are for the next month or two, what new things are coming, what's going on with the ORC, and how Paizo is going to address the continuing controversy that is AI art. So first, it looks like we've got a new adventure path coming out for Pathfinder called Seasons of the Ghost Adventure Path. This is the next big AP for the second half of the year from Pathfinder because it's scheduled to come out in October. And it's going to be vaguely Oriental, Chinese themed, dealing with ghosts and spirit folks and stuff like that, which they'll probably get in trouble for because, it's vaguely Asian, therefore it's racist. Shame on you, Pathfinder. So, yeah, can you save your hometown from vaguely Asian-inspired mythology ghosts that will probably get Pathfinder in trouble for making it and you in trouble for playing it? Also looks like there's more Lost Omens coming out. We've got Lost Omens 10Z World Guide, which will cover the different nations of the 10Z section of New Glorian, which is, I guess, vaguely Oriental Asian adjacent, which will, of course, get them in trouble. We have news for what's going on with Pathfinder Organized Play for March. They'll be doing scenarios 4 through 11 of the Prisoners of the Electric Castle adventure path and phases 5 through 15 of the Starfinder Society beta test. Looks like so between now and whenever, it looks like a lot of stuff is going on with the Pathfinder Organized Play. If you're lucky enough to live in a city that has a game store that is doing Pathfinder Organized Play, then you've got this going for you. Looks like they're making some errata for Starfinder. Some new add additions to the armory, some spelling mistakes, some editing errors, stuff like that. Errata. And probably this errata will most likely be free because every other game company, if they make a mistake and release errata, releases it for free. Unless you're Wizards of the Coast, then you charge people for it. And in regards to the ever-expanding controversy of artificial intelligence art, Paizo has said as of yesterday, if we are presented anything product-wise from third-party creators and it's got art, it's got to be art by something that is humanoid. I mean, they say specifically human, but I mean, what if my art's created by an ape? Or an elephant? There's elephants that can paint, right? So, I mean, I think you should change it from human to, carbon-based life form. Art was created by something with hands or an elephant. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm going to get an elephant to do all the art of my games going forward. So now then I can fight you and go, hey, no, art was done by elephant. You have to say it's okay because it's living. So no AI art. Now, I can't really speak from personal experience because I mess around with AR art a lot because I can't draw. And the artist I did have making all my art has at least retired temporarily because he had a new baby. So I use AI art all the time. And so far, it does not impress me. I spend like an hour getting one picture just vaguely right, arguing with the AI going, no, that's not what I meant. I can see it in my head. Why can't you print what I'm seeing in my head? I've given you the prompts. So yes, from my personal experience for using AI for the past year, I don't think any real artist is in any threat because the stuff just looks awful. So yeah, there you go. Also, Pathfinder, Starfinder news. They have announced Starfinder Enhanced. So what is this? Well, remember how we said a thing about Well, errata and changes to the rules. Well, Starfinder's about 10 years old now. So is it really 10 years? No, I think it's probably like 7 years old. So it's time to take a look at all the changes and errata and rule expansions we've made and then re-release it. So here is Starfinder Advanced. It's got all sorts of new versions of stuff and new archetypes and spells and equipment and feats and scalable stuff and playable species and news on the classes. So it's everything that they've collected over the last couple of years and rule changed and role played and play tested all in one seat. And here's the book. Now, if you didn't pick up the errata before, here it is now. So in case you missed the fact that we changed this class over the last 3 years, here's the book with all the new changes. It should be like an every 3-4 year thing where they just like, here's everything we've changed. Here's a expansion. You don't have to buy a completely new rule set. We don't have to release 27 books filled with schmoosh for you to find 3 or 4 rule changes you actually want to use. Here's this thing. It's got all the errata, all the changes, $30. Bam, we'll do one again in another 4 to 7 years. Wizards of the Coast, this is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what you should do going forward with whatever it is you have planned for 5e. Instead of making us buy a brand new book next year, just like, here's everything we've collected, smooshed together, one book, bam, done. We'll talk to you again in 4 years. So that's it. That's what's going on for the world of Paizo, except, of course, for this thing. Y'all remember this thing, right? ORC. Was the big banner that everybody was going to get behind that was going to change the gaming world after the OGL firestorm of January 2023. And everybody was like, oh my God, Wizards of the Coast, you're being a jackass. How dare you ruin the OGL? And how dare you suddenly realize other people were using the OGL? What? You mean people were using that for the past 24 years? We never noticed. That's totally not what we meant for it to be used. By the way, thank you for all the money we've made off of you using the OGL for the past 24 years. But oh no, we need to make more money off of it and have more creative control over it because it's problematic. And we spent 3-4 weeks going, no, we are fighting to make sure all of you 5e players can continue to play 5e the way you want to play 5e. And all of us who don't want to play 5e and want to play other D20 games can continue to play those games the way we want to and not have Wizard tell us what we can and can't not do. But of course, that's not the reason why we're really doing it, right? Because so many people are talking smack about us now. And the big thing, of course, was Orc. Paizo was like, all right, we know we're the number one contender for the throne. Here's what we're going to do. This is how we're going to save the gaming world. And everybody was like, yes. And like 1,000 gaming companies were like, yes, I want to support this. And then Paizo went, oh, are you waiting for us to do something with this? Yeah, we're working on it. Hold on. Oh, we haven't changed the announcement since January 12th and it's March 3rd. Yeah, we're working on it. I think my sarcasm is readily apparent. Of course, I didn't have a lot of faith in this to begin with. I was very excited to see Frog God Games jump on this because they're one of my favorite third-party gaming companies. But other than that, it's like, well, Pathfinder, you often have a history of saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it. You had 6 amazing years where you were king of the hill, and then 5e came out and you guys just went like, here's 2nd edition Pathfinder. It's like you sort of gave up. And here was your chance, Paizo, to once again kick Wizards of the Coast to the curb and do what you did with Pathfinder with ORC. You're like, come out running, come out as the juggernaut, really be a strong contender, really be the, the thing that we could champion behind. But then, it's March 3rd and we haven't really been done anything. We haven't seen much. I've been to the Discord. Yeah, there's not much going on. Lease Cobalt Press released a playtest last month of what they're doing with, Project Black Flag. And Matt Colville announced he's making a game. And Kelsey from the Arcane Library announced she was making a game. made that game, kickstarted that game, got that game fully funded, and is now into 500,000 or something like that, making just a ton of supports about this. We'll talk about that in a second in a separate vlog. So yeah, Paizo, if I'm going to talk about Paizo news and what you're doing, I would like to see some more progress on ORC, because if we have to wait any longer, you're just going to prove the people who are talking smack about us right. And it's just going to, after another month or two, people are going to be like, yeah, well, I'm moving over to this system because you didn't do anything. And you know who has still been here day in, day out, presenting us with a legitimate contender? Well, yeah, Troll Lords, Castles and Crusades, still there. They're still making stuff. They were like, yeah, we're still here. Meanwhile, somewhere on an island, 4th edition is like, hey, remember me? Why don't you guys just come back? None of this affects me. I'm still here. Come play 4th edition. So, yeah, that's the Paizo Tabletop Role-Playing Game News. If you want to see more stuff like this from me, please like, please share, please subscribe. Please go to the Paizo ORC Discord and go, dude, what's up? And if speaking about what's up, if you want to support a third-party content creator, maybe consider heading on over to my sponsor, Big Geek Emporium, and picking up my amazing merch, which will only cost you $2 a pop, $1 for my dungeons. I've got 2 dungeons up for Dungeon 23, month January and March, February, and I've got 8 monster zines that I have pushed out since January 1st, filled with system-neutral, in-depth deep dives into specific monsters, from my award-winning 5-star slime to my most recent, which was requested by you and is my largest, which is all dungeon plants and dungeon fungus. And soon I will have my very first reboot, where I'm rewriting something I wrote that I wasn't happy with, and I'm just waiting for my editor to get done editing it. That'll be fun. And now I've already moved on to 9 and 10. So instead of spending $30, $40, $50 on the open RPG, should we ever actually see it, spend, I don't know, $10 and buy my stuff, because I'll be much more grateful. Till next time, I'm the OG GM, telling you to like, share, subscribe. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. See ya. Get off my land.